First of all, did you see it 3D 48 frames per second?
I saw it just 3D. I didn't see the 48 frames because I didn't feel like throwing up on myself, because I heard that people were getting nauseous, and I don't know how I would react to that. Let me ask you this. So this reminds me of the whole when Attack of the Clones was released at the time, which now seems obsolete, digital presentation. And people said if you watched it digitally, it was a far superior movie, which, as we now know in hindsight, is bullshit. A bad movie is still a bad movie. I don't care what it is. This is not a bad movie in that regard. It is a bad movie in a sense it reveals that Peter Jackson does have a major weakness as a filmmaker, and it shows up in King Kong and it shows up here. He is obsessed with padding the movie. He is obsessed with putting in all this stuff to make it. Basically, this is the second bloated movie he's made. There's no reason this movie should be 3 hours long. There's no reason there should be 3 movies based on this one very short book. When it gets going, it's very good. I think the last hour of the movie is phenomenal. To get there, there's a lot of exposition. I don't know if it needs to be there. I know people who love the movie will probably defend it, saying it needs to be there. I think there might have been a better way to do this. I think we can all be in agreement, but maybe there's a better, sleeker way to present this story so far, and I can only hope that in the next 2 installments, maybe we will get that. Since we've gotten the exposition out of the way, we can really get to the meat of what's going on here. But he really seems to think more is better.
What happened to the very efficient? I mean, regardless of what you thought of his films early on, I mean, what happened to the filmmaker of Dead Alive and Meet the Feebles and even something like The Frighteners? I mean, somebody that made breezy, fun movies. Now everything has to be David Lean in Fantasyland. You know, it's odd.
And then there's an interesting thing. I didn't realize Del Toro got screenplay or story credit. I would have loved to have seen a Del Toro version of this. Mm-hmm. I really would have liked to have seen that. And I think maybe Del Toro will have the last laugh with Pacific Rim. I don't know. But maybe. I would really have liked to see. I would have, because there's something. Because you can make the argument, Peter Jackson should make all the Hobbit movies. Well, we said that with the prequel trilogy for Star Wars, and we realized in hindsight that wasn't a good thing. That George Lucas should have hired other directors, and I think it would have been really great if Jackson had really stuck to Del Toro as a director of the movie.
Well, at a certain time, I mean, is it the best thing for him to do? I mean, and obviously he determined that it was, but from a fan's perspective, you've already spent a decade and three epic-length movies on this world. Mm-hmm. When's it time to move on and do something else, instead of dedicating yourself to another 10 years and 3 more epic films in the same world?
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, it's just because he's now going to be, basically, he is the surrogate token filmmaker. This is going to be his life's work. I think going ahead and make a sequel to Tintin. No one wants a sequel to Tintin. No one asked me on the way out. It's like with Tomb Raider. I didn't want a sequel to Tomb. No one asked me on the way out. Oh yeah, I can't wait to see a sequel to Tomb Raider. I mean, give me a break, guys. Really? I know people are going to defend The Hobbit, and I guess I was the same way early on with the prequels before I really came to the sad realization they sucked while watching them, actually. But
was it the biggest December opening for The Hobbit?
It was the biggest December opening. It's a huge opening globally. I think it's going to do it for. I got to hint it for a nearly 3 hour movie. It's made a lot of money.
Well, yeah, worldwide, something like 230-something million in 3 days,
Yeah, I mean, look, it's what I always, the advantage you have here is you have generations of people that grew up reading the book and everything, so there's this curiosity, everyone loved The Lord of the Rings, so everyone wants to go see this. I think for me, it's a mixed bag. But I won't lie to you, it isn't until the Golem shows up that the movie really comes to life.
That's what I keep hearing.
Yeah, I mean, we said that about. I mean, let me make another prequel comparison. I think that's why Revenge of the Sith is the least bad of those films, because familiar iconic elements from the original trilogy show up, like Chewbacca and Darth Vader. So that's why that one is held slightly higher than the other two. And I think that's what you have here, though. But you have Gold. I mean, it seems to be the last hour of the movie is very reminiscent of the last hour of the Return of the King. I mean, it's very epic. There's a lot. I mean, it's very epic. I mean,
does it not know when to end like that one?
Oh no, it knows where. I know it has a better sense of the end, but there are certain musical cues and the way he frames certain scenes are like, oh yeah, Return of the King.
That's another thing about